Hey everybody! About a month ago, I made a King K. Rool guide that was met with a few criticisms by a well-known King K. Rool expert, Plague Von Karma. So, feeling a bit bad about myself for not making a 100% perfect guide, I came up with the idea of going over Kritique wasn't even doing anything wrong here. Wait, isn't DK normally bonking his head here? Does anyone even respect this Kong? Man, I kinda feel bad for the guy. A trapper? A zoner? K. Rool is not a zoner. He may have a low run speed, coupled with strong options to turtle, as I go on to say soon after, as well as some solid projectiles. He does, however, have a solid dash speed, of which I also make note of, with himself attaining most of his damage from close quarters. There is also the fact that K. Rool has moves with some absurd range, like Fair being as big as a platform for gosh sakes. So with all of these points put together, labeling him as a zoner can't really be justified here. If anything, he plays more like a walling character than anything on the spectrum of a zoner. He's good at anti-airing and weak to being juggled. The crack is not weak to juggling. Haven't I seen his Nair enough to know this? Crack thresholds? Does 11.5 or 6.1 ring a bell past me? It makes it so using the armor defensively is the better option. Understating how K. Rool can just ignore offensive escapes from pressure and or zone break with his armor, I should be ashamed for calling myself a collegiate player. Where's Jab 2? Aren't top players only supposed to do optimal punishes? Come on, I'm just making a fool of myself here. It is as fast as normal, and the move's best utility is under the previously mentioned Get Off Me and Combo Finisher categories. Where's the mentioning of it being one of the most damaging 3-hit jabs in the game, and that it has a lot of mix-up potential on a blocking opponent? Man, there's going to be a lot of nitpicks here, aren't there? The fact of the matter is that it is outclassed by almost every other normal. Okay, add 5 to this encounter. The actual best way to use this move is in the previously mentioned areas, but only when King K. Rool is low on health for his belly armor. Learn how to perform pivot cancelled up tilts past me. You're missing out a lot of what up tilt can offer because of it. Trust me, you'll thank me later. The move is basically a better version of up tilt in every way. Try juggling with F tilt and tell me it goes well. I'll wait. Also, it's minus 18 dingus. Forward tilt is undoubtedly King K. Rool's best grounded option. An opinion that's correct for once. I'll give it to my past self on that one. The berry itself has the longest duration in the game, with it not having any reliable means of comboing into it. What about Nair and Dare? Sure, Nair can be specific as to when it can work, but Dare is very consistent. What was I talking about? Also, it's not the longest berry. It's one of, but not that good. This makes it so that it is best to use this move as a combo finisher. Dash attack is more than just a combo finisher. It's basically K. Rool's version of Wonderwing, with it being faster, able to cross up shields, and that it can be safer than minus 38 depending on the timing. This all sounds good at a glance, but do not let these facts distort your vision, for it is another case like up tilt. Comparing an actually good move to an actually bad one? Time to add 5 more again. This is painful to look at. Add 1 before making 500 plus people see this image. Down smash is best used as a kill confirm option after down air or when raiding an aggressive double jump from ledge. What about it being able to be used as an anti-platform sharking tool? K. Rool leaves the ground in frame 4 and the armor is active starting in frame 8 after all. Up smash is best used as either a mash read after a down throw, a situational anti-air, as well as a confirm option after an on-stage down air. Up smash can shield poke an opponent that's on a platform too. Why is this valuable attribute not mentioned, but the wacky and practical spike of the move is? With all of these facts put together, dash grab is best used as a more optimally damaging follow-up option when dash attack or forward tilt is applicable. Dash grab is a focal point of King K. Rool's unreactable burst range. Time to add 5 more again. No, wait. Let's do 10 for good measure for such a large oversight. One notable sword move that can be outranged is Crom's jab. Dash grab would have just punished that on whiff without the need to specifically space the pivot grab. Man, I really did do dash grab dirty, didn't I? K-Rool has a fast one move that does 2%, which allows for safe unstealing of his moves, and even more damage from landing a grab. And yet I see no mention of it anywhere. One is better off going for K-Rool's other throws when the opponent is no longer at low percentages. Pivot cancelled up tilt is just true though at mid percents. This is only true until a bit after mid percentages, where the opponent has a large enough window to react to whatever the King K-Rool player is going for. Actually, you can if you just chase the opponent's jump with K-Rool's own double jump. Man, what was I thinking then? They serve as combo starters, kill options, zoning. K-Rool's not a zoner. I suppose there should be a misuse of the term counter now, huh? K-Rool's fitter is able to beat out projectiles, sometimes even better than Nair can, which aids in his ability to close the distance on zoners. And there's no mention of this anywhere. Time for another ding. And it's fairly safe with it being -9 on shield. The move is -7. If you're getting the shoulder hitbox, you're just bad. Or as a shield pressuring tool. You mean to corner pressure with Bear, right? Right? Best uses for this move are as a combo starter, or as his most reliable two-firming option on stage. It hits below platforms too, don't you know? Blunderbuss is typically used as either a camping tool or zoning tool. K-Rool is not a zoner. The best uses for this move are as a zoning option. K-Rool is not a zoner. Upon passing through a move, however, the then active hitbox gets nullified, with only the returning hit having the possibility of connecting. No. Crown keeps its hitbox unless it clanks with a move that deals more damage than it. Think of it as a sort of 9% rule, if you will. Crown Ring can be used as a zoning option. K-Rool's not a zoner. Zoning tool. Twice in the same sentence? Man, I must have been more of a hard believer of K-Rool being a zoner than I thought I was. Crown Ring is best used as a zoning option. K-Rool is, in fact, not a zoner. Sure, the move can be used against characters that have hitboxes and their recovery moves, but this use is almost always outclassed by either Nair or Dare. What if the option kills anyway? Wouldn't you want the more situational move to use up a staleness slot over K-Rool's other moves that are going to be used more often? The move also has way less end lag than the rest of his aerials after activation, thus making getting back to stage to reset the situation faster. What's not to like here? This does not make it immune to slowdowns, however, or if the hitboxes themselves are just so big that the immunity to being halted just does not matter. What if you're close enough to grab the ledge before the hitbox comes out? I knew this while writing this script, so why didn't I mention this? And now, here's a little section I would like to call Just Grab Them. Plague, if you would do the honors.
Just grab them here. Just grab them. Just grab them. Just grab them. Just go for grab. Go for grab. Just grab them. Just grab them here. Go for grab. Just go for grab. Just grab them. Just go for grab. Just grab them here. Just grab them. Just grab them. Just grab them. Go for grab. Just grab them here. Just grab them. Just grab them here.
And now, let's return to your regularly scheduled self-criticism. All of these are true within this percent range. Did I just forget that K-Rool has insane knockback growth here? I must have, since I knew at the time that this was the case. Man, another case of myself overlooking something and misleading the masses yet again. It's actually just true when the proper conditions are met, and that you're a god with your execution, and can actually be true if executed well. Don't. Also, just don't. Basically true due to human reaction time. Again, essentially true. Bad. Just no. Very bad at this percent range in particular. Suboptimal and thus bad. Basically a repeat of the same stuff I did before in the previous percent range. Let's just add 6 for the same number of issues and call it a day, yeah. Very don't. No mention that it's DI dependent? Wait, am I really that desperate to increment the counter when it's this high already and I'm not even halfway through yet? You know what? Content is content, baby. They can just react and jump away for free. What was I thinking? These are just true. Also, where's Dare? Also, don't. Wait, That's not late Nair. Late Nair allows for follow-ups at this percent range. Early Nair just sends them away with no chance of a follow-up. Again, myself showing suboptimal fluff. Whoopee! Don't. Also, don't. Wrong percent range. Do not do this. Just take the easy stock here. Suboptimal, so yet again, just don't. Wait a second. Where are the dash grabs that take the opponent closer to the ledge, thus adding pressure to match and enabling down throw mash mix-ups? Man, I really need to stop it with all this suboptimal stuff. Also, no pummels. I'm kinda tempted to add a don't counter now, but I already have an additional counter. You know what? Why not? Don't be surprised if there are more counters in the future, just because. Also, before I forget, don't. And we got another one of them, just don'ts. Very inconsistent thanks to F Smash being too slow. So just don't. Just use an aerial instead. So again, just don't. How many times do I gotta say this line anyway? Note to self, don't make yourself overwhelmed by looking at everything at once. Oh yeah, just don't. Something objectively correct for once. It's been a while since I've seen anything so intellectually procured. Never thought you'd hear a K-Roll player use such a fancy word now, did ya? We don't just sniff glue, okay? F Smash bad, so don't. The situational crown into smashes. It's funny when they work, but as previously stated, just don't. You're never going to hit crown into smashes at this percent range. So very don't. Wait, where's down smash? Uh-oh, looks like an oversight to me, fellas. This is an advantage, not neutral. Bad example, me. What decides this is mainly determined by how far away the opponent is from K-Roll. Yes, but it's actually more situational awareness with some option awareness of what the characters can do in the situation. Come on, me. I knew this, but I tried too hard to simplify this, then cause misinformation to run rampant. I guess my guide is no different than the other whack K-Roll guides out there. Countering can be used in the same department as Blunderbuss, but it is far too risky to integrate as haphazardly without the use of wave bouncing. Same thing goes for Blunderbuss, but there was no mention of this in this section. Spoiler warning, I guess. Wait, you all should have gone to watch the original guide by now, so that you wouldn't feel lost at this point. If for some reason you have yet to watch the original guide and have made it this far, why? Do you find pleasure in others making fun of themselves? I mean, same. So carry on, I guess. Without wave bounce in the Cranrang, it is possible for the opponent to react and punish Cranrang on startup alone. Again, the same thing goes for Blunderbuss, and it's not mentioned again. In order to use this move safely, giving up stage control is needed, which K-Roll typically doesn't want to do. This goes for every character though. Maybe I was thinking since K-Roll is a volatile character, he gets especially hurt when losing neutral, but again I did not mention this crucial bit of information. Integration of Nair, F-Tilt, and Pivot Grab in neutral aren't bad ideas either. No mention of K-Roll's Dash Grab being a solid mix-up and or combo extender? I'm sorry, Dash Grab. Please forgive me. If the opponent has anything on the spectrum of a reflector, K-Roll's slow base stats not allowing him to maneuver around them without risking losing his oh-so-important positioning. K-Roll can reflect it back, armor the reflective projectile, and dash under them when full hopped, which is what K-Roll is going to be doing the majority of the time. So no, K-Roll is fairly well defended. If you are constantly being pestered by reflects, you're just bad. Jumping and shielding being more reliable at the expense of the aforementioned invaluable positioning. I think I meant when K-Roll shields, he loses potential positioning. With K-Roll being so momentum based, holding one's position with shielding can stunt his advances, and by extension general game plan, thus giving him a hard time thereafter getting anything off. This may or may not have been a result of myself being a bit stubborn when facing against reflector operating characters in the past, so don't pay too much attention to this here point, unless you want to be bad with K-Roll. In that case, all the power to ya. King K-Roll's advantage state is played similarly to his neutral. Oops? I really don't remember why I said this. Where he wants to limit the abilities of the opponent. I think it was high off the fact that K-Roll can cover every ledge option at once, with crown trumping, and thus spoiled myself on how advantage actually works. For those that also need a reminder, when one is in disadvantage, Their options are already limited, which makes K. Rool's big indoor armor moves kinda insane. This means that the goal is to make the opponent feel trapped, even when they actually aren't. See my previous note. Swap dash attack and back air, and move down air to low risk. No mention and or showing of how to correctly let sharp with blunderbuss, along with overrating it a bit. Everyone that has watched this guide must see me as a small brain individual now, huh? I mean, I do play K. Rool, so what's new? The reason blunderbuss is preferable whenever possible is due to Nair being a less consistent and rewarding tool. Nair is better if you don't have a platform, don't have enough time to set up blunderbuss, with or without crown trumping, and do not commit to the vacuum too proactively. It's better to react to the motion of the ledge-hanging opponent with the integration of vacuum delay. Oversight? There is also less knockback, and by extension time, that can be used to reset the situation. Low knockback can be great with it leading to more damage at low to mid percents. I think I was thinking of just flat out killing them at the ledge at the time. I need to stop making all these excuses. I'm bad, I know. That was a free down tilt. That it consistently hits below the ledge, making 2-frame of the move very easy. The disjoint, active frames, and size of the move makes hitting opponents from even beyond the 2-frame window very easy. Underselling a move and its utility. Where have I seen this before? No mention of upper needing to be respected thanks to it being unreactable, disjointed, and a KO move. No mention of up throw being K. Rool's main way of attaining juggles. And no mention of up tilt being K. Rool's main juggling tool. Oversights galore here. I think I need to make a counter because of this section alone. Do not propeller pack from as low as possible. Do so from as close to the stage as possible. This allows K. Rool to be harder to challenge from above, and if the opponent gets to the other side of him, he can just tech the wall. Do some absurd percents, especially in combination with LSI. The characters that are able to go super deep off stage, or ones with very large 2-fairing options, are just able to ignore these mix-ups, and thus allow them to either chase him, or just catch him during the ascent. I think what I meant to say here is that K. Rool is more prone to being edge-guarded by characters with long-lasting disjoints, and or characters that can chase K. Rool as far down as he can recover. There is, however, always something K. Rool can do to recover, even against his worst matchups. Don't let this random guy on the internet tell you what you can and cannot do. King K. Rool is able to perform aerials when dropping through platforms both more reliably and faster on average than every other character. I did kinda not elaborate as much as I could have as to what my thinking was behind this claim, huh? I may or may not have forgotten to mention that due to the set FEF of the move, and that K. Rool doesn't succumb to landing lag in any form during blunderbuss, it makes it so attempting plat drop aerials are always the same timing, regardless of the timing when blunderbuss is used, thus eliminating the need for the player to be adaptive with whether or not they fast fall, perform an aerial, which also changes the landing lag depending on the aerial chosen, and or if they cancel their fast fall with an aerial. I hope this TLDR paints a good enough picture, but if not, just wait for future me to explain it better. Alright, the moment that you all have been waiting for. The reveal of a technique that has not yet been discovered by anyone. Here's a little section I would like to call Making King K. Rool Viable. Okay, so this entire section is basically a product of me being dumb, so I'm going to add 20 and revisit this another day. I also call K. Rool a zoner in this section, so I guess I'll say the line. K. Rool's not a zoner. After a barrage of some cringe opinions, we now have some very base lists. You know what? Take the last 20 off the counter editor. I've put a lot of work into this guide, and I think with both points in hand, it warrants such. You know what? Enough with the counters. This guide took me and my buddy several months to make, and this is how the people want to see all this work lead up to. And again, the fact of the matter is that it is outclassed by almost every other normal.
What? What? One thing I remember from when I was like first reviewing this for the first 17 minutes, He doesn't talk about how the angled versions deal more damage.
The move can be angled up or down for more damage. Angled up or down for more damage. More damage.